your baby. You've been on the ground, and let's just talk about some of the objectives you had or the targets, and looking at what you have achieved so far. Do you feel like you are well on course?
Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity you've given us. This project is called Development Response to Displacement Impact Project. It is a regional project in the Horn of Africa. It's in Ethiopia, it's in Djibouti, it's in Uganda, in Kenya, and hopefully preparations are underway for it to go to Somalia. The project is looking at mitigating the impacts of forced displacement, specifically forced displacement in terms of drought, in terms of war, in terms of scarcity of resources, which has made people move from one place to another. So in that, the heads of states from the Horn of Africa met under the African Union through the economic bloc of Intergovernmental Agency for Development, IGAD, to see how can they mitigate the forced displacement in terms of assisting the host communities in this region to also maybe make their life better off. So the project specifically in Kenya is focused in ensuring access to basic social services, economic empowerment of the communities, and also in terms of ensuring the natural resources are well managed, because degradation has happened so much, especially on the environment, either through people moving or people clearing trees for search of firewood, in search of building materials, burning for charcoal and the like. So this has degraded the environment. So the project came into that. Specifically for Kenya, we are in 3 areas: Turkana West, because of the Kakuma refugee camp. We are in Garissa, specifically Lagdera, Fafi, and Dadaab, because of the Dadaab refugee camp. And we are in Wajir South. Wajir South comes in because of its proximity to the refugee camp of Dadaab, and many of the refugees normally go to Wajir South in search of firewood, in search of construction materials. And because of that, the project was designed in such a way that it focuses on 4 major areas: infrastructure development, specifically social infrastructure, education, water, health, and some market infrastructure, then environmental management, then livelihood support, and finally overall coordination, information sharing, and knowledge management, because we must be able to capture the best practices for replication for future. In the course of our implementation, we have been able to, we had some targets specifically which we wanted to achieve, and so far as we talk, we have been able to finance and implement 1,896 community projects cutting across the 4 major sectors: in education, in water, in roads, in health. And we have been able to manage environmental degradation for about 5,000 hectares of land within the 5 sub-counties, and we were supposed to support livelihood groups of 4,000, but as we speak, we stand at a number of 4,977 groups supported, with a minimum of 500,000 per group, and each group normally comprises between 10 to 15 people. This is now talking of directly putting money into the pockets of the communities, specifically to mitigate life, and also to put food on the table by the end of the day. The implementation is basically community-based approach, whereby the communities are the ones who carry the bigger stake in terms of identification of their priorities, in terms of prioritizing what they want to do, in terms of resource management, in terms of budgeting, and also in terms of accountability. So they are the ones who identify who should be doing the work in terms of contracting, also in terms of whistleblowing. If there is any issues which comes along with the resource utilization, the communities through the grievance redress mechanisms report to various institutions of government and also other third-party stakeholders. In the process, we also interface with the county governments in terms of tapping in the technical capacities from the counties. As a project, we don't have our own officers directly who are technically qualified to do supervision, so we rely on the county governments through memorandum of understanding of ensuring that whatever which we do, by the end of the day, the counties must ensure that the projects are sustainable, the projects are operational in terms of posting the relevant staff, and in terms of putting maintenance and operation funds in their annual budgets to ensure the projects go on successfully. So then the other thing which I need to mention very critical in the implementation of the project is that there are very clear structures right away from the national project level to the village level. So at the village level is where they are